Too many concurrent sessions. So it doesn't want to record for me. That's what the problem is. But we are live. We are live. We are live. Yes, we are live. Successfully this time, thankfully. Everyone, welcome to the Clout Route Morning Show, baby. This is episode 13, I believe. 13.
It's episode.
You can see how scuffed this is. I'm pulling up the links that I can share it. Let's get into the show today. I have my buddy here. He goes by a lot of handles. We've got George for Porter on Twitter, but RedDeathMasque on Twitch and TikTok, correct?
Yep. That's me. I'm working on consolidating, but, call me whatever. Call me Kevin if you need to.
Can I? Yeah. You just like the fill and substitute. Look, you kind of got the facial hair going on, and you've got the glasses now, so, that kind of... that helps.
I'll be Kevin for the day.
But you have the Teddy Fresh hat on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, right. Take it. Oh, wait, now I have hair. Shit.
There you go. That's what Kevin would do.
Right, the backwards. There you go.
Backwards. Oh, goodness gracious. So I hope you all are with us today, hearing us well. If not, hit me up in chat. Let me know.
Yes, chat, please.
I actually have to pull up chat, but we'll do that after I
I was going
share a little linkle.
Try to do it on my phone too, just to keep
Linkle. Okay. So the links are shared, and we are here, me and my buddy. We're going to talk about Ethan Ralph because he sucks.
Yes, the Gunt.
The Gunt himself. Isn't that interesting? We were talking about this right before we went live. Gunt is such a disgusting term, and we didn't even really know what it meant at first. So
I do like that. I mean, I guess it could be associated with females too, but I like that there's just as a disgusting term that could also be referred to like males, and their disgusting guts. I feel like that's important,
It's the see you next Tuesday equivalent is what you're saying.
Right. Yes. Exactly.
I like that too. So anyways, Red, it's nice to have you here. We've been talking about it for a few weeks, so it's cool to finally see it happen. I got to turn you up a little now, they're saying. So let's do that. Let's do it to it. I think that should help. But yeah, we've been talking about it for a couple weeks, and you've always hung around the community. I've seen you around on Twitter as well, so it's nice to have somebody friendly around today. Kevin looks different today. Somebody said in chat already.
Yes.
So just to start us off, how did you find us? How did we come to be? I think is the one question I want to ask.
How do we? Yeah. So yeah, I found you guys. Funnily enough, basically when the Deaf Noodles revamp was happening, I was very much in support of it. I thought it was very cool what he was doing and trying to do in terms of just starting a new, comedy club. And I, early on in that, he gave you guys the Clout Route shout out, the epic legendary shout out. And I just liked the name, and it was one of those things where, I wouldn't normally look up everyone that he shouts out, but I was like, oh, it's a podcast too. I've done some podcasts. I'm always interested in finding new, good podcasts, especially smaller ones. I have my big few ones, but any ones that are up and coming, it's I like to be first. It's always fun to be in a community that's up and coming.
Well, I appreciate you thinking that Kevin and I are capable of such upward momentum here.
Oh no, I
This
do.
community's
Well,
going places, baby.
I think so, bro. I definitely do, and I
I
think
appreciate that.
just as an interviewer too, like as we've gotten more to it, like your interviews, with Steven and Def, I really liked, and I think you just like hit the nail on the head in terms of. Sorry, I'll take the fucking glasses off now. It's a fun gimmick, but I think you hit the nail on the head just in terms of like seeing, kind of what Def was trying to do, but then all the ways that he fell short, and then kind of how he got lost in the sauce. And I don't know, really it seemed like doesn't know or can't decide who his friends are. And so he just keeps like, kind of trying to change it out or like whatever, like he did with Steven, where he just,
it
told
is a
everyone
weird
that
thing.
they were no longer working there, but they weren't fired, but they were. He basically did almost what Elon Musk did to that Swedish guy. Did you hear about this story?
No. Oh, are we talking about doesn't he have like muscular dystrophy or something?
Yeah.
Or something?
Yes. Yeah.
He had something wrong with him, and he was arguing with him on Twitter.
Yeah. Well, yeah. He would basically. Elon was digging himself into a fucking hole, and was being an idiot. But it was one of these things where the guy was just like, I just want to know if I'm fired, And it snowballed into like fucking Elon being like, you're lying to get out of work about your disability and all this just crazy shit.
And then he had to go through and like explain it to him just in plain terms. Like, look, dude, my legs went first, and then, I didn't think my arms would go, but now my arms are going, so it's harder for me to do this.
And the guy's like, you mentioning my like confidential health issues, like the guy's just literally already being like, this is something that I could sue you for. This is something I could sue you for. This is something.
Do you think he'll actually get in any trouble? That's the thing. It's like I feel like he gets away with everything.
No, and that's the thing. Elon eventually did end up backpedaling, so I don't think much will come of it.
He called him or whatever, private called him and figured it out.
Yes, exactly. And like, which it's like, that's what the guy wanted you to do in the first place, or he just wanted you to explain to him if he had a fucking job. And the same with, but to get back to my point is like the same with like Corey and Steven. It's like Def is just randomly like, no one is employed here anymore, and you must audition to be at my club, like he's the fucking Groundlings or something,
For real, too. And he wants you to be funny as well. Yeah, it's just like the Groundlings.
Right. And I was like, bro, you're not Lorne Michaels. Like, I can appreciate that you want to audition people and you want people to be good, but these people were already provably good. Like they were already doing shows at your club.
Yeah, this guy had to explain his job. Like, the whole thing just made Elon seem like a fool. You're right. Because, he was explaining his job, exactly what he did. And then Elon's like, I don't even know. He didn't even really have anything to say about the guy, explaining it all out. And every time he had to explain it all out, and he just makes Elon embarrassed every time. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, no, and that guy was awesome just because he took a bunch of digs, too. He's like, I didn't inherit a diamond or an emerald mine,
farm.
And all this shit. The guy really like eviscerated him. Like it was awesome. I just love that whole little saga. I mean, I know it's kind of a side note, but yeah. So
let's check you out. How about that?
Let's check me out.
Let's completely,
for sure.
Let's completely rear back to it from the side note and get into your little TikTok here. I thought this was funny. This is the one you shared with me. Check Red out on TikTok if you haven't already from the first shout out. Here is a clip. I don't know how loud I have to get it, but
I will consume the sacred heart-shaped herb. Enter the ancestral plane.
I can appreciate the Marvel humor.
Yes.
Commune
Thank
with
you.
my ancestors. And
of
fulfill
course-
my lifelong wish of becoming the next Black Panther.
And of course, I can appreciate this as well.
It is time to test my superhuman speed and stamina.
Hey, by the way, you can't copyright claim me for this or something. Don't do any funny.
No,
games.
I will not, sir.
Shit!
Rachel Dolezal, I don't think it worked.
Now
So we can appreciate your TikTok a little bit. I love that.
Okay, hell yeah.
Do you find success in the TikTok game? I mean, like, does it pop off for you? I used to fuck with it and put my shorts on there and stuff, but then I was like, whatever. I'm a boomer. I just do YouTube shorts and that's it.
Right. I think I do think YouTube shorts are getting really good, and if you're primarily on YouTube anyways, it's like double down on the shorts. I like TikTok just in terms of if I'm out and about or I'm, get a random idea, it's like, you're not by your computer, you're not like, you don't have the time to really edit shit a lot. But TikTok does a pretty good job of letting you make a customized, like, good-ish short video.
It's all
So
in the app kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm not like, I'm a little younger than you, but I have such boomer energy too that I'm like, I cannot figure out how to like edit. I want to get good with like a good video editor, whatever.
It takes a long time, honestly. And if you sleep on it, like I have, like I used to be pretty good at it. I used to love editing, honestly. I can remember my first year of college, when we like first started doing, our first video projects and shit, how we would spend all fucking night, all day editing shit.
Right.
So it's fun to do, but even then, that was when I was in college, which, you could say like 10 years ago now.
Right.
None of that, I can't even translate that almost. It's like I can open up a video editor now and be like, oh my fucking God, what is going on? Now, if I sat there and fucked with it for a while, I just don't have that kind of time anymore, unfortunately.
No, I hear you. And so that's what I like about TikTok. Like, and like yesterday, I made one that I was literally on my lunch break. I went to fucking Burger King, and the dude at the window, first of all, he seemed kind of stressed out and like in a hurry. But then all of a sudden he was very like, yeah, how you doing, man? And I was like, doing good. And he was like, yeah, fear, you can't let fear stop you. You either gotta run from it or you gotta face. He was like, you gotta face it or feel it. And I was like, yeah, I had the same sort of sentiment of like, okay, dude, I just want my BK stacker now.
Thanks for the advice.
Right. Thank you for the life advice. But I was like, this guy, because he gave me the vibe of one of these motivational like TikTok gurus that's like just some random dude that's like, you mustn't run from fear or whatever. And the dude had like tattoos on his face. He was clearly like a character who had seen some shit. But I was like, okay, so I'm gonna just make a quick TikTok just to impart this wisdom that he imparted on me. I feel that was important. So I just made a quick one that was like, or you either run from fear or you whatever. Thank you, man, at Burger King. Like, and I just did it on my lunch break real quick.
I love that.
Yeah. And that's what it's great for, is just that spontaneity shit,
I do like that. I do like the sounds of that a little bit, because really with my shorts, it's like I do a short when I have a second when I'm sitting in the office and I'm like looking at a clip and I'm like, this would be funny. And I'll just do one really quick. But I don't ever have that with YouTube Shorts. I don't really ever feel that spontaneity where I'm like out in public and I could do something really quick. I'm sure I could. I just don't think about it that way. So I don't know.
Right. Well, and of course, TikTok makes it really easy to incorporate some funny music, and you're not worried about it being claimed specifically for like
real.
the music, as long as you do it through TikTok, which is so dumb because you can have
that's
a song
being fixed on YouTube.
Oh, that's good. That's great. Yeah, awesome. Because that's why people aren't fully buying into shorts as much,
Right. I mean, yeah, they've got a bit of a ways to go, I feel like, before shorts really are engaging people. I don't know, like sometimes how shorts work are so weird because I feel like all of the ones that I do are just junk. I'm just like doing something quick and funny. And it's nothing too serious. And some of them that I like, it feels like the amount of effort I invest in it doesn't matter. It's really what I'm talking about is always the case. Because if it's something stupid that I'm talking about, but I've like, came up with a character or something or did something that's actually I think is funny, it doesn't matter.
Right. And creative, it doesn't matter.
So I try not to think about it as much. I just fucking put it up, and then I'm like, oh, wow, that one did well. Wow, finally. Thank you.
Woo, yay. Thank you, YouTube gods.
Let's look at chat, and then we will look at the clip that I think we can bond on that you sent me. And then we will look at the Gunt and some of his recent escapades.
We'll get into the Gunt, baby.
Gunt. I'm sure that gives people chills when we say that. The Gunt.
Well, yeah, and I hesitate because it's so close to see you next Tuesday. It's
right,
like,
I'm probably fucked.
Just shouldn't say it. Yeah, sorry.
This video is probably fucked. I'm probably fucked. Let's say hey to people in chat real quick. We've got Ian.
Absolutely.
Ian Ellis, LLC, says shalom. Nice to see you, Ian Ellis. Booty Tootie.
Shabbat shalom.
Booty Tootie says greetings. Andy Zucchini says, well, gosh, I like Gunt. Goont.
Goont. Maybe it's better to say Goont. Yeah.
It sounds like German when we go that route. Goont.
Goont and Morgan.
You got it. Poland Spring says Kevin looks different today. Yeah, I told you that.
Right. Hello. I dropped my southern accent slightly. No.
Oh, she says, let's see. Ethan Klein's in the chat with the picture of Gary Klein actually as his avatar. That's interesting. He says,
I've seen that.
He says Danny is an icon. I know who that is, but I don't want to dox anybody.
Right. Oh, yeah.
That's a secret account, if you didn't realize.
Okay. Gotcha. Hell yeah.
Somebody doesn't want to be outed as a Clout Route fan.
For sure. That's fine. You can be, it's one of these things where it's like, some people are like, don't be ashamed, be who you are. But it's like, it's okay to be ashamed and be a fan. As long as you're a fan.
Yeah, exactly.
It doesn't matter.
Totally agree. I totally agree. You took the words right out of my mouth. Amber Lily says, hello. Hi, Amber Lily. Doggo says,
hello, Amber.
Most shorts on YouTube are recycled old TikToks. Well, not my shorts. Check out the Clout Route shorts. They are 100% YouTube shorts. That's it. You won't get them anyplace else.
Nope.
Poland Spring says Danny needs to get with the times and adapt to new technology like TikTok, or his career will die out before it even begins.
Right.
Thank you, Poland. I appreciate the advice.
Yes, very constructive criticism.
And then she also goes on to say all Clout Route fans should be embarrassed. So I agree.
Ashamed. Oh, okay.
Ashamed.
That's fine. You're not going to shame me.
I love closet Clout Route fans as much as I love outed Clout Route fans,
Right. Yeah. Well, and I think it is funnier to be like, well, I really do like him, but I'm just not ready to tell people yet, you know?
I don't want to be public with it. This is intimate stuff here.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's watch
Yeah.
this clip. It is definitely a good one to bond over. Now, let's see if I can not be a boomer and get it to fit to the screen. There we go. Here we have two Fox dum-dums. Why can't I even think of his name at all?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
She is Lauren what, right? Ingram.
oh, okay. Yeah, that sounds right.
Laura Ingram.
Yeah.
And this guy's just some dum-dum. Now, we've watched this clip on the show before. Who they are is irrelevant, honestly. They're just some Fox News idiots. And you'll see here. Now, I don't know if anybody in the audience will remember this, but it's definitely worth a rewatch, especially with somebody else to laugh with. So let's check it out.
You know, I was watching an episode of You where measles came up.
Wait. When did I mention measles?
So we'll pause it a little bit throughout. I think it's funny already. It's just right off the rip. She's confused as fuck. Has no idea.
Right.
Like she's reading into it. I don't understand if she's like not there with it 100% in terms of maybe her attention's divided. She's not exactly listening to him, but she's so lost.
To her discredit and like news anchors in general, it's like they do have like someone probably talking in their ear.
Yeah.
Fucking multiple monitors and shit. And she's listening to him, but yeah, only with like half her brain, you know. And
So
the guy's like, I was
talked about
watching. Well, and it is funny because if he just would have said, I was watching a clip of the TV show You, but he goes, I was watching a clip of You. And yeah, if you're not, especially if you're not familiar with the show or like you weren't already talking about it, you're just going to be like, what did I do? You know?
Right. Wait, what?
And, what? And so it just immediately sparks up. But I love how she stops him and she's like, I did not talk about measles. And like, rather than, because she makes it very clear that she thinks he's talking about her.
Right.
And then for whatever reason, he's just like, you know, you.
Let's keep going.
Yeah, keep going.
I don't know. It was on You.
Wait, what was on
you?
me? What are you talking about? Right? Is Raymond even hearing what I'm saying? I never had the measles.
Was on You.
We never did a measles and vaccine episode. Is this a joke?
I know.
So I'll stop it there. He's already like, yeah, I know. I'm not talking about you, you idiot.
I'm talking about you.
But yeah, he still will not be specific. He's just no you.
The Netflix show. You, like, that's all it would have taken. You know?
This does make good television though. Maybe he knew at some point where he's like, oh, okay, I get where I'm gonna go with this.
Right, yeah, I'll just fucking trick her, you know?
know what you're talking about.
It was on You. It was on You.
I've never had measles.
Raymond,
What are you
that's his
talking
name.
about? This is stupid.
It was an episode of a show, Laura.
What's it called?
You. It's called You.
I've never done a show on measles. I just completely give up.
I've never done a show on measles. So that's so good. I love that. Now, you sent me that, and like I was saying before we went live, it's good to know sometimes where somebody is politically. That way, like, I know what kind of jokes I can make. So when you sent me this, I was like, oh, okay, cool.
For sure. No, and that's the thing. It's like, I'm definitely left leaning, and I am not a fan of like really any Fox News, anything, or all that shit. But I'm also not the type of person where like, oh, I don't talk to you if you're a Republican, you know, like, because there are a lot of people, especially it seems like online, that just have their flag in their camp and are like, you know, fuck you if you're on the other side. And it's just not, that to me is just not interesting, to be that way.
Right, like Kevin, Kevin definitely wouldn't claim to be lefty, so.
Right.
I mean,
right,
I think
right,
he's
right.
left leaning on some things, but I think he would more
For sure.
readily accept the Republican tag than he would
Right.
a like Democrat.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I'm with you. I like to be open with people. I mean, Vault Wanderer, one of my good friends that I've met through all this, who shows up for the shows every once in a while, he is like completely on the other side of the political spectrum, but we get along when it comes to making fun of shit online and yada yada. Like, it's not the end of the world.
Absolutely. No, it definitely isn't. And I mean, just even where I've lived, like just in Colorado now, and where I grew up and shit, it's like I grew up in a lot of places where it's like most people are more on the right or more, more conservative, whatever, Republican leaning. And it's like, are you what, you're just not going to talk to any of your coworkers. They're showing a funny clip online or something. You're just going to be like, well, it's not funny because of
Right.
who they voted for. And it's like, no, funny's funny,
Yeah, certainly. I mean, yeah, in the heart of Ohio, I get the benefit of like the capital is very left leaning, or at least more progressive, but
Yeah,
I'm
right.
surrounded by absolute red. So like I'm familiar with these people. I grew up with these people, like
Absolutely.
I understand why they think the way they do, even though I don't agree with them. So you got to learn to cohabitate, or else, if I didn't, I would never leave Columbus, which I don't very often, but
Right. Well, and you would just like hate, you would like hate going to the grocery store, or, just like whatever. Like you'd be like, fuck, this is the end of the world. And it's not, it just isn't,
So let's get into some of the gunt, the nasty, the disgusting, the Ethan Ralph himself.
Yeah. And so sorry, just real quick. It is kind of hard to hear just in terms of the audio of the stuff. I know you're not screen sharing, but if there is a way for you to maybe tweak with it or do something,
The
because
volume
I
of
just
the
noticed,
clips?
yeah, like when we were watching the Fox News, like it was just cutting out a lot, and stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, we might have to avoid clips, maybe. I don't know. For some reason, that's just not going well.
Maybe
we'll just shoot the shit about Ethan Ralph. We've got a lot to go through and cover.
Oh yeah, for sure.
In
Well,
terms
you
of
can,
his garbage.
show the clips and then just be like, all right, and that one's over. If it seems like I don't know, because I want your fans to be able to watch some of those fights and shit, because they are hilarious.
Well, we'll play the Ethan Ralph Portugal clip for sure before we end, and everybody will be able to see.
Hell
that,
yeah. Hell yeah.
Anyways, so Ethan Ralph actually just yesterday got into some more shit, I guess, but he was blipping on my radar because somebody had sent, he's always been on my radar, honestly. I can't say that. He just came up to me recently because somebody sent me a link, VW did actually, of a podcast that was talking about how his email was leaked.
Okay.
So that was the initial thing. He lost his Twitter account at some point, and then this podcast on Odyssey, Mad at the Internet, was talking about how there was an email leak and a bunch of his shit got leaked that way. So I was interested in talking about him again because of that information. Now this tweet up here has came forward since then. Already apparently banned on Aiden Ross's Kick platform for absolutely no reason. Weak. How you get banned on Kick? I mean, we've talked about Kick so much on the podcast in the past couple weeks. How you get banned on Kick, I have no idea.
Right. Like and who knows exactly why he was banned, but my suspicion is like it has way more to do with like him being a horrible person behind the scenes and like harassing, like
Definitely.
who knows, maybe he was like harassing people at Kick, being like, pay me or otherwise I'll show up at your house and pull out my goont, or whatever.
And he will too. He doesn't hesitate to pull out that fucking goont.
No, he does not. He does not. And so my guess is it was definitely something like that, as opposed to just something he did on Kick. Because as we said, you can get sloppy toppy on Kick and only get banned for a day.
So if you get banned, I mean, yeah, I think that he got like mass reported or something.
Right.
Or somebody,
yeah, that too. Something.
I didn't get to look into it too deep because this guy is in all kinds of stories all the time, but he was a Cozy TV guy exclusively, I thought, for a while with Nick Fuentes' shit. I don't know if that ended for him or if he still does it and like he's just bopping around on alternative platforms. I don't know, but Ethan Ralph, I think it's just not meant to be if you're getting banned from Kick, dude.
Right, yeah. Kick especially, like, that should be your, like, this is, how people, TikTok is my home. Like, Kick was supposed to be his home,
He thought maybe for a second, but he came to him with open arms, just like this.
Yeah.
And they said, no, we do not want you here. I mean, you've got, I mean, you can take a couple looks at his pictures and whatnot and kind of start to realize that he's a crazy person.
Absolutely.
It doesn't take many layers to peel back before you realize how nuts he actually is.
The other thing I was going to say is, didn't the initial leak happen because dude was just like logging into like his email or his different other shit when he was like hammered on one of his streams?
I think this has also happened to him before, unfortunately, because that's what he does. Is he gets hammered and then he's like, we've watched a clip before on the show, and I actually, where is it? I have the sound bite.
I shouldn't have even fucking done that, but I was just like, fuck this bitch.
Yeah.
He got drunk then and fucking went on a rampage on Brantley and then got banned for that shit. So
but fuck this bitch. I shouldn't have even done that.
It sounds so funny, dude. He's definitely a character. Now we're not we're not gonna look at these clips because a lot of these clips are gonna fuck up apparently. So we won't peek at a lot of them, but I do want to showcase some of this. Like, he's such a bad guy, that there are like YouTube channels like Sunrise Productions here dedicated to him. I mean, the Augusto Kinoche dude on fucking Twitter does the GNN Gunt News Network or whatever that's constantly reporting on him.
Oh god.
So it's like there's something about the guy that people want to talk about him. I mean, he's
love to hate him, love to revile him, or be reviled by him.
Yeah, and all of these are just, look at these. Ralph challenges Josh Moon to a literal dick measuring contest.
Right.
Breaks his chair while playing air guitar and hollers about Rakita's butt cheese. Rakita Law he's friends with. Yeah, that's actually something I do want to make note of too while we're looking at this guy's YouTube channel dedicated to Ethan Ralph. Dude, I've heard of him in so many different ways. He's constantly fighting with different people, and I took some names down just thinking about it. I've seen him come to blows with Keemstar. It's like, okay, who doesn't, I guess.
Okay. Right. Okay.
Medicare is one that he constantly went at odds with, which I think Medicare now doesn't stream anymore or doesn't do it as much or whatever because of in real life stuff. But He was always back and forth with Medicare. That Andy Worski dude, are you familiar with him before we got into this Ethan Ralph stuff?
No.
Yeah, he's kind of a weirdo. Some people are. I know some people in the chat definitely know who Andy Worski is.
Right.
Rakita Law, though, yeah, I mean, we've talked about him on the podcast before. I dressed up as his cousin, Nikki Rachita, on Halloween.
Right.
And then Fuentes, he was on Cozy TV with Fuentes, so it's like just by association with all those kind of people, I feel like you can get a good a good vibe of him as well. Like, this is all
Right.
It all makes sense, right?
These are his peers, or these are the people that he associates, looks up to.
Now, we had quite the list of like podcasts and stuff that went on and on about him, which I because the clips are struggling, we won't go through the clips, but I do want to make mention of a lot of it. Like, let's see. First off, the first thing that we showed of him was the Brantley thing, which we talked about.
I shouldn't have even fucking done that. But I was just like, fuck this bitch.
And then Boogie29AA. Are you familiar with Boogie?
Yes, I am, just through H3 and stuff, and I've watched some of his videos and stuff, like when I don't know if this was related, but when the dude came to his house and he like shot off that gun and all
right?
this shit. So yeah.
So it is kind of related in the clip that I was gonna show. At one point, Boogie challenges Ethan Ralph to a boxing match, and kind of sort of is because of the thing that you're mentioning, because the guy that he got into the confrontation with, where he shot off his gun, was friends with Ethan Ralph. That's how he got involved with Boogie in the first place.
Of course,
so it all comes back to the gun eventually.
Yeah, the battle of the guns right there.
I mean, for real. I would love to see Boogie fight anybody, but I think that it would be the end of him if he fought somebody.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, it would for sure. I don't think it would necessarily help not only his health or his, career, but it's like, it would be interesting to fucking see.
Yeah.
And from what we know about Ethan Ralph, like, I do think Boogie would beat the shit out of Ethan Ralph, but I think that the fight would end with Boogie like having a heart attack on top of Ethan Ralph. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
yeah, something like it would be double KO or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, double KO. Yeah, exactly.
Somebody would have a heart attack and somebody would get knocked out or something to that effect.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
But so that's Boogie fighting with him.
Right. Well, and by all means, man, like I said, show the clip if you want to,
Oh, well, the Boogie thing, I don't think we really need to. It's really just Boogie. If you want to go check it out, there is a video of Boogie challenging Ethan Ralph to a boxing match now.
Right. Okay, I see.
It's just Boogie saying, like, the same thing that I just told you, how he knows the guy and how much of a scumbag he is.
For sure.
There's this Bobby video where he goes in on him, Twitter versus Ethan Ralph. Now, I'll pull up the video, but I'm not going to play much of it.
So there's this completely...
Well, I'll play that much.
Yeah.
Volume up. Bo Blacks did a video on our man here, and it's called Twitter versus Ethan Ralph, if you want to check it out. He goes into just all different kinds of garbage that Ethan Ralph gets into on his own. Talking to one of the clips I had was talking Ethan skipping to Portugal to avoid child support. Oh yeah, okay. So this was where the Portugal clip was going to be. Now, what I'll do is I'll skip to it so that we can watch it, and we'll watch it, and then we'll move forward. I don't think I'll show many more clips after that, but there's such
for sure
an epicness to this, him getting the shit beat out of him, that we've kind of just got to watch it. Let's see. I have it at 453. Let's boot it up. So this is the dude that kind of seeks Ethan Ralph out in Portugal once he finds that Ethan Ralph is fleeing the country to Portugal.
Right.
He's accused of doing it for multiple reasons. He's accused of fleeing the country for avoiding child support, and he's also accused of doing it for coming to find these guys and fight with them or other people. He's one of those guys that like, okay, I'll show up at your door and then get my ass beat.
I'll come there, bro. I'll be to your house.
And this
I'll
is
come kick your ass at 9 p.m. And then he's there at like 3 a.m. And
well, this is what happens when Ethan Ralph shows up. I'm just gonna let this clip play out a little bit.
Find out where he's at.
Hey, what's up, bitch? Hey, Dick, how you doing? Hey, what's up, bitch? What are you doing, bitch? Fuck out of my face. Get the fucking... Fuck you, prick.
Lots of butt crack.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's a great part to pause where it's 2 butt cracks.
I almost paused it there, I think.
Yeah.
But here is the epic gif that I love to share.
Yeah.
And this is the part where he gets laid into. So let's let it play.
Yeah.
Fucking gonna do? What, you coming out before you were a little dickhead? You fat little gun shit. Yeah, that's right, bleeding. Look at you. Fuck you, bitch. 5-star days, bitch. Fuck you, bitch. Sweet.
So these people clearly didn't like him. And that's a good place to pause it, too, with that. That's the Gunt that we refer to.
Yeah, Goont, yes.
The notorious Goont. Let's see what chat has to say about all of this and the Ethan Ralph so far. Well, first, chat has been talking about how there's the cult of the Clout route and that people are branding themselves and stuff and whatnot, like Nexium. So I would avoid that.
Yeah.
I would avoid that section of chat. Let's see. Ralph begs Medicare on every show to come on the show. Yeah, they constantly fight. Ralph takes 10 milligrams of Xanax daily and washes that down with alcohol. This lockout won't last long.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God.
That's a recipe for death. Not only just multitude of other problems, but,
I've never been much of a Xanax guy, but washing it down with alcohol sounds like a mix of deadliness there.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, it is actually super dangerous and deadly. Definitely there's a reason people who drink a lot just also seem to love benzos by default because they kind of do similar things. And like when they're like hungover or when like the alcohol's like not doing it, they're like, I'll just top it off with a Xanny. And it's like,
you know who loves benzos?
Jordan.
Well, God,
He does. He loves the benzos. But yeah, so
and
chat really is
grandma's.
Yeah, his grandma's her pubes.
Yes.
Just bunched up into a nasty wad and put in his face like a paintbrush.
Had the appearance of a thick mat of hair. I
love
love how he's like at the end of that clip, just real quick as a side note. I love how he's like, and not wanting to interfere with her anymore.
I let her
have her way. And it's like, you didn't, even in the dream, you didn't just run away. Like,
Well, I think that's a read on what kind of person he is.
Yes.
Even in his dreams, he's not going to run away from old granny and her fucking broccoli bush that she's trying to paint him with. So I also like to point out that usually for these Thursday shows, I'll come back on Sunday and Kevin and I will revisit a little bit of it. So some of this shit, like Sebastian says, You should play the clip where Ralph cries real tears because he got banned on Twitter. I'm going to find that clip. Me and Kevin will play it for everybody on Sunday.
No, you should. And I'll definitely be watching the recap this Sunday. And I look forward to that because, yeah, I mean.
Kevin's supposed to be here watching. I think he's in the audience somewhere.
Woo, what up, Kev? I'm your twin, brother.
Dude, somebody said in the chat, Kia Cat says, he named his kid Rosie because of Cozy. So
oh my God.
He named his kid after the streaming platform he was on with Nick Fuentes, I guess, apparently. Allegedly.
Oh my God. Right. Which, I mean, I guess maybe Cozy is like a little bit too weird of a name for a kid, but
right, yeah.
it's one of those things where, you know, it's like, why the fuck? You clearly have no loyalty to like any one platform, but you apparently love Cozy and Nick Fuentes so much you're gonna name your kid after him. Like,
I don't know, dude. He may have gotten so much trouble there that it's like burnt bridge kind of thing. I mean, he is that kind of person. I guess I don't really know the ins and outs of it in terms of him and Cozy TV, but he may have just burnt that bridge too much. You know how he goes.
He's like one of the people who like during like season 3 of Game of Thrones are like, we're naming our daughter Daenerys, and then by the end they're like, shit, that's a mistake. You know?
Fuck that. Fuck Daenerys. That's when you have regret for your kid later on. You're like, man, I really don't like you. Actually, I should. Naming you Daenerys just started it off on the wrong foot. You're the least favorite kid.
Right now, there's a reason. There's a reason why you sleep in the fucking Harry Potter cupboard.
You sleep under the stairs.
Yep.
But so not only did Bo Blacks take rounds at him, and Sunrise Productions here has a channel dedicated on all kinds of Ethan Ralph videos. Boogie calls him out. The official podcast even called him out with fucking Moist Critical and his buddies. And
right.
This is one of them that I definitely didn't even really want to show. I just thought it was funny, different points of what they were talking about.
Yeah.
They had like one of the extras in the, I don't know who all the people are on that show with him. He has like 4 different talking heads with him. But anyways, one of the guys, he brings up Ethan Ralph and they kind of start shooting the shit about him. And obviously they talk about the staples of like him getting beat up in Portugal or whatever and blah, blah, blah. But there's a lot of back and forth with him and Medicare that goes on. I think that's, I mentioned him a little bit before, but I think they have like a storied history. And somebody in chat, Sebastian, said he's always begging Medicare to come on his show. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I don't know if you know who Medicare is, do you?
No.
I'm pretty sure that he's like a commentary streamer or whatever that has like cancer or something. And he is stepping away from streaming because he has cancer. And
I see.
And allegedly, okay, I'll say allegedly, but I'm pretty sure that Ethan takes shots at that specific thing, saying like, I hope you die in Minecraft of cancer and shit. So again,
God damn it.
That might paint a little picture of what kind of guy he is.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like you can't be a dude who gets drunk, doxes himself on stream, takes all this Xanax and shit publicly, gets his ass kicked, everything, and then be like, oh, this guy's an L because he's got cancer. It's like, bro, you are a walking L in so many other senses, many of which are completely in your control and your fault. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you to where that's why, even if you hate the guy, like, you don't need to go after his cancer. You can fucking, talk about something else. Talk about his looks or whatever,
Well, Bo Blacks goes into it in his video a little bit where he's talking about, like, they call it blood sports. And I mean, I think it's literal for Ethan Ralph sometimes rather than just a figurative name. he gets the shit beat out of him, and then it really is blood sports. But
yeah, there's blood.
the act of like them going on stream and him saying something like that, "Oh, I hope you die of cancer then, you piece of shit," is like the blood sports. All's fair game.
Oh, it's just part of the blood.
Yeah, right. So that's the kind of bullshit that they get up to. I guess while we're on that kick of just like shitty things, I do have a little list of like accusations here of Ethan Ralph. This is me calling him out, by the way. If he ever catches wind and has a problem, he can bring it up with me in the DMs. I love that kind of shit. We'd love to have Ethan Ralph on the show so he could drop a few N-bombs and show the gun. I'd love that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, one of the things I wanted to bring up too before I go into this list of his alleged crimes, when Keemstar was going back and forth with him, oh fuck, I lost my train of thought, but the Keemstar and Ethan Ralph thing goes deep in terms of him, like, pretty sure Ethan Ralph and Keemstar go back and forth because of some doxing shit, or no. It was he was going to try to have Andy Worski, the guy I was talking about earlier, and Ethan box. That was the Keemstar edge to it. And Keemstar said, you've got to clean up your act in terms of the N-word and the F slur and yada yada. And
you've got to be committed to just basically not doing slurs and like whatever for the time of the fight. And he's like, can't do it.
Can't do it. Well, he accused him of like, oh, well, you're gonna censor my content. That's what we're doing now. You're censoring my content. You're the content police or whatever. And it's like, dude, nobody wants to hear you say the N-word or the F slur or whatever else. Nobody. You just want to say it. So I don't know why you're concerned about like, you're being censored. It's like, yeah, dude, well, nobody wants to hear it in the first place. And
it's like, you could probably, in whatever weird cozy TV, whatever used to be like Kick, stream, you could probably still go back to saying the N-word like after the fight or whatever, but it's like leading up to it, and especially during like the promotions and the live videos and shit, Keemstar's like, we can't have you doing that. And that's coming from Keemstar, a guy who's famous for saying it fucking, into people in Xbox years ago. So you're like, if he's telling you to do it, it's like with Alex Jones, like to Kanye being like, well, do you kind of want to walk back being like, I love
you don't really
Hitler.
love Nazis, do you?
Yeah, and he's like, no, I love.
What way?
There's a lot of things that I love about Hitler. A lot of things.
So yeah. I wonder if Ethan Ralph and Kanye ever crossed paths, since he was like, since he was running around with Fuentes and Ethan have a relationship. Wouldn't that be a good mix of people?
Oh my god, dude! I think it would be great. I think like they could do some sort of like clothing Goont collab where like he creates a fucking Goont belly t-shirt or whatever.
Or it's like a fanny pack or something that he makes.
Yeah,
it's like just the gut portion that you like hang over.
That looks like a stomach. Yeah.
I like that. Yeah. I could see that. Yay and Ethan Ralph 2024 collab. That's the only kind of collab he's going to be able to get.
No, yeah. I don't think it'll be sold at, Gucci or Adidas or whatever, but.
So I have down here, deadbeat father who doesn't pay child support. So that is referring to the situation around when he was fleeing to Portugal and got beat up in that clip. Part of the reason was he was allegedly running from paying child support in Portugal, I guess, whatever. Not only is he a disgusting. Go ahead.
Sorry. Didn't he get beat up in Portugal twice?
So it is twice. He goes. The one time didn't get recorded, But one time I think he
Right.
goes and just gets beat up by people that live there because he's a piece of shit.
Right, just like, yeah, regular people who are like, you're a disrespectful fucking American piece of shit. Yeah.
I don't know if
Fat
I don't
slob
know.
idiot.
I don't know the vibe check in Portugal and whether they would like take kindly to a fat, disgusting American.
Right. Well, I'm sure if you're kind and generally respectful, you're fine. But when you're like yelling the F slur and the N word slur to people that are like, they're like, we're Portuguese. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? They're like, they're gonna beat you up then, you know.
So we've got a lot popping off in chat here. Sebastian seems to know quite a bit about Ethan Ralph. He's our in here a little bit. So let me let me read some of this. Sebastian says, Medicare has cancer and some autoimmune disease. So I was correct on that. That is why Medicare has stepped away, and Ethan has made reference to it, I think, many times. They were friendly during Gamergate. Every time Medicare was on Killstream, it had the most amount of views. Interesting. So we reach back all the way to Gamergate. You remember that shit?
Yeah, I do.
Gamergate, they were on the same side of the fence. I guess that makes sense.
Okay.
And that had the most amount of views. So that's probably why he wants to engage with Medicare so much. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. For the clout, baby.
Ralph got upset with Medicare only because Medicare shaked a pillbox on stream because Ralph made a fool of him during his pill stream. Interesting. That's the only reason he got mad at him. See how sensitive these motherfuckers are too? The guy that will show up to shake his gun at you at your front door and call you the N slur is also the same guy that will get upset because you shook a pill bottle on stream.
Right. Well, and I don't know like what specifically the pill stream shit or whatever is too, but it's like
that must be him fucked up on pills doing his kill stream.
Just where he's just streaming and all fucked up. But that it legitimately is a side effect of like not only, you know, like alcoholism or just whatever being drunk, but it's like it's the reason why Jordan Peterson, even to this day, will break down in tears, which maybe he's clean or maybe he's not. We don't really know, but it's like his emotional kind of scale is just completely fucked where it's
you think
like,
that those drugs fuck with your head like that and kind of shift your emotional scale?
No, they absolutely do, because it just makes sense when it comes to like if you look at Jordan Peterson, if you look at like how they were saying how Ralph cried in the one clip or whatever too.
I love
it's
that.
like even if you're not necessarily on them at the time or whatever, it seems like for whatever reason, like you could be, you know, someone could say the most innocuous thing to you, like, hey, excuse me, sorry, you know, and all of a sudden fucking you're either in a rage or you're bawling, you know.
Right.
And
okay.
that's just kind of what I know, just from my own like personal experiences with people who have had like addiction issues, and especially like benzos and stuff. They can really fuck with people, and that's why he showed up at the dude's house and he kept going back inside to the dude's house, and all the dude had to say was, "You're 5'1", bro. You're 5'1". It's like that's not inherently.
It's not a normal response to have.
No. Yeah. And you're already leaving and you're gonna go back in because the guy's like, you're 5'1".
See, that's interesting to me. I guess I wouldn't have that insight. So like, yeah, they're so fucked up. They've been, regardless if they're I mean, Ethan Ralph probably still is on drugs, but somebody like Jordan Peterson, regardless if he's off of it or not now, just that time that he had so focused and so entrenched in taking them kind of shifted his brain a little bit. I mean, you can definitely see that where he goes on. He goes on like what was the one that we just watched recently? It was Piers Morgan or whatever, where he's on there and like they're talking, and then he's like, yeah, it is Piers, because he's like, oh, what about that movie that they're making that character after you. What do you think? The king of the incels or whatever. And I mean,
Yeah.
in it, he has like a moment and like, you know, says a few composed things. And then it's all of a sudden he's like, we'll go fuck with those. People don't have fucking men to look up to.
Yeah, men are doing impossible things. I know that's not from that clip, but it's like it can go from 0 to 60 like that, where it's like composed. All of a sudden he thinks about, you know, the struggles of men, and it emotionally is like a fucking explosion in his brain. Yeah, dude. He thinks about all the men who have constantly been bombarded with this tyranny of the neo-Marxist and the, you know, fucking.
He likes to do that too. Not only does he cry a lot, but he makes up a lot of words too.
Yeah, well, and he's been on that neo-Marxist shit for a long time.
Oh my god, dude.
Where it's like it is I'm sure in his mind, and like if you read all his essays or whatever, like it would somewhat make sense, but it is one of these things where in Jordan's mind, these neo-Marxists are this whole problem group in society and shit. But I forget who it is. Hassan has a great clip where he shows this other philosopher guy who's just like, you talk about the problem of neo-Marxists, but where are the neo-Marxists?
Who are they? Yeah.
Specifically, who are they? Where are they? I don't see them. You talk about them all the time. Where the fuck are they?
It's the whole straw man thing. Yeah.
Yeah. It's such a great just kind of moment and point of like, yeah, if something's that big of a problem in society, like, wouldn't more people be aware of them? But somehow you're the only one with this neo-Marxist buzzword that you just use all the time. Yeah, it is funny, but I mean, back to fucking, you know, Ethan Ralph. It's like, you know, you could probably say anything to him, and some of it he's just gonna be like, "Fuck you, bro," blah blah blah. You know, call you the F word and the N word, but then you say something simple that's a trigger for him, like you're short. You know, you could say F you to his face 100 times, and he'll just say F you back. But then if you're like, you're short, then he's like, okay, I'm coming to your house, you know, or whatever. And
I love that.
There's no way to know, but it's just these fucking damaged people. And
so he's gonna like we've made fun of his gunt so much that he's gonna look up my address and come and shove at my door and be like, "You want some of this?" and shake it at me furiously. "You want some of this?" Yeah, I'm gonna get a gunt visit.
He's gonna suffocate you, bro.
Oh God, no! I'm not answering that. He better bust my door down.
You know, like waterboarding, he's gonna gunt board you.
Oh, what is that? What is that? Is that dripping water from his belly onto me? Just slow drips from the disgusting belly onto my forehead.
No, poor Dan. No.
Goodness gracious! Well, I won't be answering the door if he shows up.
Yes, just promptly call the police.
Sebastian has a little bit more here. He says, pretty sure people on Cozy like hearing him say the N slur and stuff. So that's kind of funny. Kia Cass says they love that word on Cozy. I've never seen a 30-second clip where it wasn't dropped. Hard R Fuentes. Which I don't know if you've seen Fuentes go off in the same kind of way, but he's definitely just as racist.
Oh yeah. No, definitely. That's funny. Poland wants to know, did I used to have a Xanax addiction? I did not. Members of my family definitely did.
Of course, that would be a question that Poland would ask. I'm not surprised by that at all.
Right. And I'm very open. I have had my own struggles with addiction, but Xanax was never my poison. It makes you lose time. Like, you can't even enjoy being high, because you're like, all of a sudden it's 6 hours later and you're like, what the fuck? Like, I have tried it, but that was just never my poison specifically.
Right.
So.
I've never tried Xanax personally, But I do have a friend that would like, I can remember when we were younger, when we would hit like college bars and stuff. And he would say like, oh yeah, I popped a Xanax before I went out and I don't remember any of the night. Like,
None
I
of
hopped
it.
the fence at the one bar and then I forget everything else. It's like,
Right, yeah.
what the fuck, dude? I've experienced like blackout things like that before, you know, but
I think most people have drank into the point where they've, but the difference is on Xanax is like, yeah, you might go and do something. You might be driving around. You might be talking to people. You might have whole conversations or altercations that you just don't remember.
That's awesome.
And it's fucking crazy.
Fuck,
yeah.
I can't believe people can get into that sometimes. It's always surprising.
Yeah, no,
me,
it's.
I mean, I know how it works. So
right, it is insane for sure.
Let's see. We've got Sebastian saying Fuentes will go down in history as Hitler 2, 3, and 4. That's interesting.
Okay.
That seems very psychotic to say, but okay. Fuentes, I'm sure he's full of quotes like that. One time I'm going to have to do a Thursday fucking poke around on some Nick Fuentes clips because I'm sure he has a bunch of N-word clips.
Right.
Sebastian says he went to Portugal because the age of consent is 16.
Oh, God.
I don't want to think about that.
Yeah. Dude, he's got a little Portugal family, too, that he's not paying child support for now.
Yeah, right? He's running from them, too.
Now he's got to go to Spain next or whatever to get away.
Yeah, Sebastian's dropping a lot of clips that I'll have to search for later on.
Oh, absolutely.
Pick back up. He says Ralph versus Medicare on Mundane Match channel is a good altercation there. That sounds funny.
Woohoo!
Let's see. They're saying something about corn cobs, but I'm not getting the context. So Ethan Ralph doesn't like corn cobs, apparently. I guess that's something.
And Ralph said corn. Yeah, I don't know. I don't love corn on the cob, so I guess we have that in common. I prefer it off the cob, but I'm not like that little kid. That little kid loves it, you know.
Poland Spring says, I had whole friendships with people and didn't even know. Is that a Xanax problem?
Yeah, they were saying that they had a Xanax addiction too. So yes, that is.
Oh, that's right. Before I missed the comment right before it that said that.
Right. Yeah. So apparently, yeah, you can even make friends. You know.
Interesting. I feel like I frequently make friendships and then don't remember.
Yeah. Well, that is a stoner brain too, a little bit, but.
Right.
You know,
exactly.
I guess the Xanax, it's like you have no memory, whereas like stoner brain is like, I kind of remember you, dude. You know?
Well, you've seen, I'm sure you've seen shared on H3, or maybe not, the Infobren dude, or you've maybe watched us watch him.
Yeah, right. It's for finches.
Yeah, that guy.
Right.
No, it's tuna juice, and it's made for finches, but humans can drink it too.
Humans can drink too.
But
it's for finches.
Man, that shit is that shit that he does is bizarre. That's for sure.
Oh yeah. No, he's on another level of just cringe and. How can I make not only the people in the videos uncomfortable, but like everyone watching it, you know?
I love it. Well, Red, it has been a great time here on the morning show, shooting the shit with you about Ethan Ralph and other nonsense. We'll give you one last shout out. It is RedDeathMasque on TikTok and on Twitch, correct?
Yep.
And then George for the number Porter on Twitter.
Yep. Yeah. No, follow me. I stream sometimes. I'm always fucking around, and I'm looking for other people, you know, to talk to and collaborate with. I don't have like a current show the way that you do, but you know, it's it's really cool to talk with you today. Like, this has been a lot of fun. And then also just to talk to, people in your community. Like, there's been a lot of cool people. A few of them have stopped by my stream, and it's all love, and I really appreciate it. And it's been a lot of fun falling down this goont belly button rabbit hole with you.
Yeah, I thought it would be a nice little fun icebreaker, First time I have you on the show, it's a great topic. Lots of fruit bearing from Ethan Ralph.
Well, and now it's like, I'm sure I'll find like all the videos in the chat and stuff. Like, I'll find 10 more to go through and watch myself, and maybe make some content about or whatever. And you're deep into it in terms of the commentary, like, community, and how there's so many people, but it's like everyone still knows each other and stuff. And
it's an interesting community, that's for sure.
I'm interested. Yeah, it is for sure. And I'm interested in being somewhat a part of it, but it's also like, man, it's just fun to joke about and to laugh about. Like, there's just a lot of shit that you can just kill yourself laughing over. You know what I mean? Like,
the commentary community is endless laughter in terms of the stuff that they do online. So I feel like if you wiggle your way into the community just a little bit, you'll see the Ethan Ralphs, the Chris the Narcs, the now recordings that you can watch and laugh at a little bit of the goofy shit that they do. But no, it's been nice having you on, Red. You are actually really like the first experiment that I've had having somebody on besides, like, I had Def and I had Steven on for like interviews. This is the first time I've had somebody besides Kevin on just to kind of shoot the shit. So it's been a fun time.
Hell yeah, man. No, I had a blast. And speaking of Def and the Y'all Had to Be Here, everyone go buy some of the Y'all Had to Be Here.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. I love that.
Because those
are some good guys.
Kick ass. And yeah, no, they're great, and they make a lot of good stuff. They're actually on tour right now too, I think. So maybe they're at a city near you.
They're doing a St. Patty's Day thing, I think, and maybe it's in Chicago, but check that out. It's definitely a St. Patty's Day thing coming around. Maybe it already happened. I don't know.
And too, like, household name from Niles for being like a small self-produced special is such a good stand-up special. Like, if you're looking for some good stand-up to watch Niles Abston, household name. And
he's legit, dude. He's pretty funny, and he seems like he's very talented and like writing.
Oh yeah, multi-talented, bro. And the new season of Dave will be coming out, and he has a whole episode, I think it's maybe episode 8 that he wrote of the show Dave. I don't know if you've seen
so dope. But yeah,
Dave's an amazing show, like amazingly funny, but also like weirdly is insightful for how goofy it is. And so I cannot tout just those guys' talent enough. And their Y'all Had to Be Here podcast is like, I was a big fan of the Bodega Boys podcast. I don't know if you know what that was.
No.
But so it was Desus and Miro. They had a Showtime show. But it started from and their show ended in a kind of shitty way, and the podcast just ended abruptly. And I was just looking for a really funny like friend show where it's just a few dudes or two dudes just chopping it up, and I luckily stumbled onto Y'all Had to Be Here.
They've got a funny show.
That's great. And if you want to look up a great short, go to the Y'all Had to Be Here page and find the Mick N-word clip. They talk about McDonald's, but it's Mick, blank. You can't say it, but and it's so funny. Oh god, that's like one of those shorts where you're like, are the shorts worth it on YouTube? But then you stumble across one like that, and you're like, okay, this is fucking awesome.
That's awesome.
So yeah, I'm I'm a fan first. That's kind of the way I see it. I'm a creator second, maybe or a podcast or whatever second. But really, I like to discover new funny shit, and I'm always looking for kind of the next thing. And that's why I've loved the Clout route. Is it all these weird commentary things that maybe I'm a little bit aware of through H3 or whatever. I get to watch the Clout route every week and fucking deep dive and really actually understand it, I feel like. So
Well, I appreciate that, and I loved our time today, and I look forward to. I mean, I'm sure I'll have you back on again, and
yeah, anytime.
Anybody else?
Anytime you want to chop it up.
Anybody else out there that is looking to collab? I mean, I'm sure you're down to collab, but also hit me up in the DMs if you're interested in coming on the show, like Red Death did today.
Yeah, no, definitely. People do it, and if you're kind of on the fence about like, is it easy? Is it gonna be whatever? It's like, it's very chill, very easy, fun time. And if you're on the fence about whether or not you want to put yourself out there, just in terms of being a voice or appearing on anything, like, it is worth it, because ultimately you just get to meet new people and fucking, make at least internet friends or whatever. It's like, it's definitely worth it,
Yeah, that's been some of the funnest part about doing the podcast so far. Yeah, is like
For
the
sure.
community, just getting to know people. And like,
Absolutely.
you don't start with a community, you like keep going and keep going. And then now you've got like tons of friends, so it's weird for me at this point. The Discord is just a bunch of like my buddies that happen to also watch our show. It's a weird phenomenon, but it's fun. And I'm glad you're there.
Absolutely. Hell yeah.
And I will see you there, and I will see everybody else there on the Discord or on Twitter or whatever. Hit me up, and we will be back Thursday, Kevin and I, Thursday. Today's Thursday, Sunday.
Sunday.
We will be back Sunday for another episode of the Clout Route Podcast.
Right on.
And I will talk to everyone out there later. See ya next stream. Peace.
Yeah. Peace.